He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another story time, and welcome to The Missing Child. Disclaimers. Anybody who trying to judge me about this bonnet and doing story time about this bonnet, the only reason you have an issue about this bonnet is because somebody white told y'all like this was nasty, even though they wearing bonnets now, told y'all it was nasty, y'all look ghetto, y'all look like unclean or whatever. Yeah, y'all trying to down black women by people who admitted that they don't wash. They don't wash their legs, they don't change their sheets, and they don't wash on occasions. Video proof out there. They wash every Monday. Mind your business. Another disclaimer. You may hear my neighbors move their chair, which is what they do. Every 10 to 15 minutes, they slide their chair, even in the middle of the night. So, yeah. Microphone. Anyway, so let's get into it. So this story time is when I had moved to a new city, and I had moved to the new city with Gifted, but this we had left and then moved back. But when we moved back, we were staying with Gamer, and then we left Gamer and got our own place. So this takes place when we had finally got our own place. And before I had left my own place, I was going I had started school, but that was like a little further down. So this is the point in time where I'm just working, got our own place, things is cool. Ty was acting a pure D monkey in school. He was giving school a run for his money, because I don't remember what story time it was. I know it was in probably the billing office blues. Where I had told y'all like Ty was acting a pure D fool, and it almost got to the point where I lost my job because my boss had even like bring him up here. When I brought him up there, like she had brought him a football, she had brought him some toys, trying to bribe him to do good, because there it was becoming an issue of me having to leave to go to the school to pick him up, and I was gonna lose my job. Ty was 4. So around the 4, 5, 5.5, 6 era, it was still like it has never been a break for me when it came down to Tyler's behavior. Just FYI. So anyway, yeah, so we're running in that era. But in this time when he is doing well, he would be hanging out with one of my neighbors. Do I want to get him a name? I probably need to. Hold on. So we're gonna call my neighbor's foster family. It's not that they were fostering children. They had their own children. They had their own family type situation. But I'm calling them foster family because Ty was always over there. And I wanted to say fake family, but they wasn't fake. Nothing about these people was fake. But in Ty's eyes, it was the ideal of what a family was supposed to be, because it was like 2-parent household, son, daughter. Like, so he felt like it was perfect. And the whole time, like, those people had issues behind closed doors, just like we had issues. So that's why, like, when people be like 2-parent household, or a single mom can't do nothing, or a single dad can't do nothing, there are different dynamics of family, period. Like, just because you have 2 parents in the household don't automatically mean that your kids are going to turn out perfect. No, I keep trying to tell him, that during that time, like, you keep wanting this, you fantasize, Ty fantasized family so bad with the 2 with the 2 parents, and he feels like if he had both parents in house, he would have been a better person. And it's like, if you want to be a better person, you can. You being a better person doesn't predicate upon me or your dad. You being a better person predicates upon you. Anyway, so that was really his excuse, because I won't say issue. That was his excuse on whether he would do good in school or not, or he would, do good in school or not, and not have behavior problems. Depending upon, he would be like, I miss my dad. And then when he was with my mom, because my mom wanted him all the time before she got sick, you would do well, and then when I would leave, you would act a fool. So when I was home, because the teacher would say, well, I know when you're here, was he does so well in school, and I would show him because he used to say like he wasn't smart, and I would show him when I was home and when I was down there all the time, you would get A's and B's. But when I wasn't, because I didn't want to live down there because of the way my body reacted to the house, him and my mama couldn't understand it because they wanted me to live down there. And I'm like, I can't live in this trauma filled house. Like, the house is cool for y'all, it's not cool for me. Yes. Anyway. So yeah, so foster family was also living in the complex, and then my neighbor right across from me, who this story really pertains around, we're gonna call her Ghetto Girl. She is the statistical ghetto girl description, so to speak. But you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. So at this point in time, this is where me and Ty staying. Like, we had moved in, things was going good. At this point in time, my boyfriend, I think we had made up. Yes, we have made up. And we are dating consistently. We are doing date night. Ty is calling him dad, and it's flowing. It's flowing. I'm working. At a one upon a time, like, I could tell that I really liked him because he had my car one day. He took me to work and he took my car. And something happened because his truck was getting fixed, and so he was like, "Babe, I need your car." Yeah, because I couldn't clock in, and my boss was cool with it because they had sent an email around, but about people losing, not being able to punch in, basically like forgetting their time card, because we had to slide a time card and then put in a code in the door, but also put in a code in the time clock in order to clock in and out. So at this one particular, it was a particular morning that my boyfriend had took me to work, and so I was like, I really liked him. It's Justin's dad, the baby that passed away. Yeah, I done had quite a few situations. Anyway. So yeah, so things are flowing well. Things are going well. I'm just thinking, like I said, me and my boyfriend are doing good. Things are going good during this relationship at this point in time. Ty's calling him dad. I'm working. I got my own spot. Things is flowing. It's completely, yeah. Because I remember even like Ty would wake up Saturday morning and come and want to lay in the bed with us. So I would put Ty in front of me, and he would be behind me. And that's why when I told him I was pregnant, because I got pregnant from him 2 times. Yeah. I was pregnant from him 2 times, because the second time I didn't tell him, and that was Justin. The first time he was with me with that miscarriage, but when I told him, he was like, I ain't even tripping because I watch you take your pill in the mornings, which is what I did. And when I woke up, I would roll over, pull my birth control pills out of my nightstand and take my pill because I ain't want no more I ain't want no more kids. So he didn't trip about it anyway. And he was like, and I wouldn't trip anyway. He was like, I'm cool, with you having a baby. Like, yeah. Anyway, so things are going good. And so at this point in time, like, I'm not really, as usual, I don't really talk to people. Like, I just mind my business minding me. I go to work, pay my bills, and chill out. But Ty, of course, being in the neighborhood, like, Ty make friends. Ty is really a people person. Ty can make friends and chitter chatter, adults, kids, toddlers, baby, old people. Ty is really a people person, like almost giving politician, where he can talk to any and everybody, real talk. And because when we lived on that side of town, and when we would go, what story time was that? Mr. Bread, when we would go, like I told y'all, the week that my payday week, and we would go and be in that plaza, people would be like, hey Tyler. And I didn't have a name. My name was Tyler's mom. Like,
Stifler's mom?
Tyler's mom. But it was little kids, like it would be little kids and grown adults. Hey, and I'm like, who? When I say grown women, I'm like, who? And of course, they don't know the side of Tyler that I know because Tyler be like, yeah, I'm that man. Anyway, get in the car. At this point in time, 5 and 6, or is it five? Is he 5 and 6? Hold on, he might be 5 or 6. Yes. Yes, this had to be, yeah, 5 or 6 because I'm thinking about, even though Tyler's like not that tall, he's still, this was like 5 or 6. Yeah, 5 and 6 in that era. Anyway. So anyway, so yeah, so Ty made friends. So he was like, "Mom, this is my friend." So he was introducing me to foster girl. So I was like, "Oh, hey, beautiful little girl, pretty face, long hair, beautiful little girl." And I was like, "Hey." So she was like, "Hey," and so she was older than Tyler, and so she was like, "Mom, my mom want to know if he can come down. Like, is it cool for him to come down?" Comes to our place. And I'm the type of parent where it's like, girl, I need to meet your mom. I need to meet your daddy. I need to see these people. I need to make sure it's cool because kids lie. So kids can be like, oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah, you can come. My mom says it's cool. And the whole time your mama don't know nothing about it. You got all these kids in your mama house. She like, where all these kids come from? So she was like, oh yeah, okay. You wanna come to our house, or you want my mom to come up here? And I was like, no, I'm gonna follow you, because so I need to know, exactly where he is. So I follow her, and we go to her apartment. And when we go to her apartment, she opened the door. She was like, "Ma, Ty's mom is here." And so, like I stay like right there, like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna follow you in. Ty, like, come on, because you done been in this girl, you done been in these people's house. And I was like, no. And so the mom come. Mom is beautiful, chocolate. She may be like 5'1", 5'2". Couldn't be no more than that. But beautiful hair done, hair like pixie cut, Halle Berry-ish type deal, and beautiful. And so she was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "Hey." And so she was like, "Yeah, we absolutely love your son, and we would just want to know if it was cool, like if your son can spend the night." Huh? And I was like, "Spend the night?" And so she was like, "Yeah, like he here all the time." Hmm? Which shows, like, I'm thinking the tires outside playing and you in these people's house, living it up, eating, sitting down, chilling, talking on the sofa. And so the dad comes around. He was like, "Yeah, we love your son. Tall, light skin, big, muscular man." I was like, "Oh." He's like, "Yeah, we love your son. Let we want him to be around all the time. I can sit and have conversations with him." And so here come foster son. He was like, "Yeah, he cool." So the whole family liked her. I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Well, it's cool that he's down here or whatever." And I was like, "But let me think about the spending the night thing." So she was like, "I understand." She was like, "But anytime, like, you need a babysitter, you need somebody to watch him while you go to work, like when they out of school." She was like, "I'm home, so what I'm saying, if you need any of that, just let me know, girl. He can stay here. He's well mannered, very respectful, and I absolutely love that." Which I've heard that before, over and over. When it come down to time, people will always say, anytime that they're approaching, they be like, "You're his mom? Oh my God, he's so respectful. He's so mannerable." And I used to look at him, because it's like, you go to these other people's house and be respectful and mannerable. What you supposed to do? But you give me pure D hell? What the? And it remind, like, to this day, when I took him to here recently, when I took him to get a haircut and we was hanging out, his barber was like, he not gonna listen to you because he don't respect you. He take you for granted. And when his barber was talking, Ty was agreeing with what he was saying. And then once he said that, he was like, and I was like, "Ah, yeah, you stop nodding your head. Nah, shake your head. Yeah, yeah," because he was right. He was right. And he's like, he take you for granted. He's not gonna listen to nothing you say. He take you for granted. You're there. So anyway, so I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, let me think about it. And I was like, but it's good to know, which it was good to know. It was good to know that he could go somewhere and be safe. Like, far as I know, like they said, they came off as cool people. And so it still had took me a while, but in between the time of me thinking, she had understood it. So she was like, yeah, girl, it's cool. But she would come and be like, can Ty go to the mall with us? Can Ty go to the movie with us? Can Ty go this place? And she's like, don't worry about anything. Like, he can he ain't gotta kick out no money, no nothing. Like this story time where it was like, oh, he gotta do is pay for snacks, and the whole time you buying snacks for the whole family. Try me. But she was like, he ain't gotta worry about nothing, he ain't gotta pay for nothing. All good. Just all he gotta do is show up. Oh, okay. And so I wasn't chilling on it. So we had started building rapport or whatever. And so I had noticed like my neighbor, ghetto girl, who was right across the street. Well, I was not right across the street, right across the walkway from me. And so it was like the way the apartments was set up. It was like my apartment, I was at the bottom. Ghetto girl was right across the walkway. Then you go up the stairs, and it was an apartment there, and then also an apartment right across that walkway. But when you go down the hallway and you go downstairs, it was an apartment down there, apartment there, apartment in the middle, because it was like the way it was set up. We were on the first floor, but if you go through the walkway, they were on the second floor in the back, and then go upstairs. Yeah, it was a whole lot of, but the apartments were spacious, so I wasn't even tripping on that. So anyway, so ghetto girl, I had noticed like the person who was coming to pick her and her kids up to take her and her kids to school had stopped picking the kids up. And so she was outside, and most of the time when it's a ghetto girl, ghetto person, statistic, stereotype situation, they outside and you can hear their phone conversation, you can hear everything that's going on, like they loud. They just loud, eccentric with it. And so she was on the phone. Yeah, girl, she tripping. Yeah, girl, she tripping. She not taking my kids. She said she not taking my kids to school no more. She not coming over here to help me take my kids to school because I ain't got no gas money. I ain't got my taxes yet. It ain't hit. So I ain't got my taxes yet. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna get them cause like I give what I can. I give what I can. So I'm nosy. I told y'all I'm nosy. So I'm gonna listen, and then after I listen, I'm gonna go mind my business. So I ain't say nothing, but I did notice. So this one particular morning, like for whatever reason, the bus didn't show up. And I don't know why she wasn't putting her kids on the bus, because there was a bus stop. So I don't know why she wasn't putting her kids on the bus. But there was, because her kid, well, um, the little girl, I don't think was in school yet. I don't think she was in school yet, but her son was. Oh man, I think the son was like special needs kind of situation. I don't know, but I think she just didn't trust him on the bus. But anyway, um, for whatever reason, like the bus didn't show up. The bus didn't show up for whatever reason this particular day. I don't know if they didn't have a bus driver or something or whatever. I don't know. But Ty had came and he had knocked on the door, and so he was like, "Ma, the bus not showing up," and he wasn't lying yet because it was like a bunch of kids outside, and so foster girl, she was like, I'm gonna go to my mama, and you want to ride with me and my mama? And so he was like, nah. And he was like, Ma, you don't mind taking me to school? Why was I home? I don't know if I was off this particular day, or because I would go to work after. I don't know. Anyway, or maybe I was taking him on the way to. I don't know. I don't know why I was off. Because I was off. Maybe I had something planned. Because, baby, I would take a day. A mental day is what I call them. When I don't feel like going to work, like everything is just life is too heavy for me, baby. I will take a mental day quick. I do. I take them now here too. I need a mental day. I do. I do. I don't take them often, but I do take them. So anyway, so yes, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take you to school. And so she was standing outside, and I don't know what she was saying. I don't know if it was like a setup or she was waiting for her person. I think she was waiting for her person, whoever was taking her, because like whoever it was like any given person who could take her. I think they didn't show up. Whoever it was, they didn't show up. No, she was waiting on a daddy. She was waiting on a daddy. And so we was gonna call him Eugene. I really think that might be his real name. Seemed like that might be his real name. But anyway, we're gonna call him Eugene. So anyway, so yeah, so she was like, so as I was walking to go to my car, and so she was like, "Oh, you taking your son to school?" And so she was like, "I'm sorry, hey, I'm ghetto girl," and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And so she was like, "Are you taking your son to school? Your son go to the school up here?" And I was like, "Yeah, he go to that school." She was like, "You mind taking my son? You mind taking my son to school too? Cause Eugene hadn't showed up. I don't know. He said he was gonna be here, but he hadn't showed up." And I was like, "Oh, oh." I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." Not thinking nothing of it. Not thinking nothing of it. And so I was like, "Yeah, it's cool." And so she was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, so she got it. So Ty kind of gave me a look because I don't ever say like you have to be an empath, but like you don't really have to have gifts. You just gotta pay attention to people. Like you just gotta pay attention. So it's like Ty was like gave me a look like, "Girl, you just open a can of can you take my kid to school almost every day type situation." So Ty was like, shot me a look. Hold on, because the sun going down. Let me change it. Hold on. So in my mind, I'm like, it should be fine. It should be fine. Even though I had caught the look from Ty, I was like, it should be fine in my head. It's just like a one time thing. It should be fine. We should be good. Nope, no problem. No problem, right? So I take the kids to school. Mind you, she get she get in the car. She made him get in the back. And you could tell like he was bad because she was like, "Get in the car, get in here, don't do nothing, don't act nothing, don't be touching nothing, just get in here and sit down." She got in the front seat, and when she got in the front seat, she put her daughter in between her legs. She was like, "Sit here, like scoot down. It should be fine because it's right up the street, right?" Cause I was like, "She don't have no car seat." And so she was like, "No, it's right. It's right there. You know the school right there." Not it was like it wasn't a house skipping a jump, but it was just like when you come out of our neighborhood, like it was literally like maybe a mile up the road. Really, it wasn't that far. But girl, anything, you know how you think like it should be cool, nothing can happen. Like literally, it's like it's right there. Like you don't in your mind it's like nothing's gonna happen within a mile. What's the worst that can happen? And then something happened. And so I was like, yeah. I was like, can you just put her in the back seat and then put her in the seatbelt? I feel better than that than you having her standing right there in between your legs. And so she was like, oh, okay, oh, okay. And so she, put her in the back seat and she put her in between Ty and the little boy. So the little boy was like sitting in the back seat like this, looking straight up. I was like, you bad as hell. In my mind, you bad as hell. Cause you can tell, like, you just know them bad kids. You just know. Cause I had a bad kid. Ty was bad. Ty was very smart, bad. He knew who and how he could manipulate when he wanted to manipulate people. And he could be a sweet angel when he wanted to. Ty was bad. Y'all just, he just had that effect. Anyway. Anyway. So yeah. So I'm sitting there like, all right, take them to school, drop them off, get back to the apartment, and so pull in. And so she was like, "Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you. You need to give you gas money or something. You need gas money." Now, mind you, when people do that, I know you ain't got no gas money, girl, because I hear you when you be on the phone almost every morning telling people, and people be turning you down because you don't give them gas money. So I was like, "No, you good." And I was like, "It was just, have the kids just not happen to be having, he just didn't happen to bus. I don't know what happened with the bus, but the bus didn't show up or whatever. So now you good. I ain't even worried about it." So she was like, okay, yeah, okay, thank you again. Yeah, no problem. So mind you, Ty rides the bus. This is not a every morning type situation. So I'm trying my my best to. You better lay low. Make sure you don't see me anytime in the morning. Make sure Ty you get to the bus. So you don't even be like, girl, can you spin the block? Can you run it? Can you run that again? Repeat. Can you do that again? Because anytime sometimes the get a girls feel like they find somebody consistent, it's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I can call on her. Oh no, no, you can't call on me. I may give you one or two times, but no, you can't call on me. I don't need you to get comfortable. No, don't get comfortable. Make sure you're doing your own thing. So anyway, so tired hitting the butt, get up, get up, get out of here. You got to get the bus type situation. So this one particular day, I don't know what it was, breakfast. Me and Ty used to do, like, as I told y'all, we used to do breakfast, like we would do runs, early morning runs. This is when stuff would be open 24 hours. Or we would do early morning runs in the middle of the night. I can wake him up and be like, you want to be a fat girl with you want to be fat with your mama? And he'd be like, yeah. And we'll go hit McDonald's because McDonald's would be a 24-hour situation. Or early in the morning, I'd be like, come on, let's go get breakfast. And we'll jump up and he'll still have on, he's like, I got my pajamas, put on your slippers. And he would have on his Spider. At this point in time, he was in the Spider-Man because Blue's Clues, before we left the other city, he was in the Blue's Clues. And then he was like, Blue's Clues is dead. I'm Spider-Man now. And I was like, okay. So he was in the Spider-Man. Um, so yeah, so he had on Spider-Man pajamas and he had Spider-Man slippers. I think I got a picture somewhere where I was wearing his Spider-Man slippers because he still was doing Spider-Man situation for a while, like nostalgia type situation. And I was wearing them like they was my Jordans. So anyway, so yeah, he would have on his Spider-Man pajamas still. I was like, nah, you ain't gotta get dressed. Come on. He'll run to the car, put on his seatbelt, we'll hit the drive through and get our little breakfast and come back. And so this particular morning, like we had hit breakfast, did breakfast, came back. And so she was standing outside because she was a cigarette smoker. She was standing outside. She was like, good morning. I was like, good morning. And so she was like, oh, where y'all went? And I was like, breakfast. And she was like, oh, that's so sweet. I was like, mm-hmm. Yeah, girl. I was like, well, you have a good day. Mm-mm. So this one particular morning, I don't know if it was a mental day. I don't know, y'all. I ain't even gonna front. I don't know what it was, but she happened to catch me walking, walking to my apartment. I don't know why I was home. I was home, but she was like, because I worked late. That's what it was. Because I didn't have to be to work till 9, either 8:30 or 9. Because I worked late. That's what it was. And so I was walking out, going to my car, and so she was like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" And I was like, "What's up?" And so she was like, You busy right now?" I said, "Oh, I'm headed to work." And so she was like, "Oh," she was like, "Well, I got my stamps, and I can't get nobody to take me to the grocery store." So she was like, if possible, like I'll get some stuff for your house too, if you can take me to the grocery store when you get off work. I was like, well, I don't get off work until late. And I was like, I don't get off work until after 5. And usually around this time, like me and my boyfriend, either he would come over or I would meet him when he would get off work. I would meet him when he would get off work and we would sit and talk for an hour, hour and a half. And then, I'll come home or whatever, or I'll go get Ty from aftercare. And so she was like, oh, and I was like, but, if I don't have nothing planned on Saturday, I'll let you know. Y'all, when I tell you like clockwork, every time I walked out that door, she was waiting. You got something planned on Saturday? You got something planned on Saturday? You got something planned on Saturday? And it was like, dang. So I was like, so far as of right now, nah. And I was like, but I'll let you know Friday. I'm like, my final if something pops up. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, because usually my boyfriend is the one who plans the date nights. And he'll let me know like on Friday. So if I have something planned on Saturday, where it's like a not enough time in between. Because again, this is the boyfriend where we would ride motorcycles on Saturday. He would come and we would go in the city and ride. He would ride his motorcycle in the city, so we would be downtown in the city most of the time riding motorcycles and stuff. So if he had something planned, he would let me know. Usually Friday evening, he was like, "Babe, let's go do." He would be the one who planned the date nights. So yeah, so that's how that went. So it was like, I was like, I'll let you know. So this particular time, because again, my boyfriend, he had his own like clothing line. And then he would do side stuff because he could fix stuff. He's very good with his hands. So he worked maintenance at the apartment complex that Gifted lived in, but he would do side jobs on the side as well because he was investing in his clothing line. And so he was like, he was like, "Babe, I got a side job this Saturday." He was like, "But when I'm done, I'll let you know." And usually when he had a side job, he would just come to my apartment and we would just hang out, watch movies and eat or whatever. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I was like, "Well, since you're not, since we don't have nothing planned, we're not going in the city." Because usually he would come, if we was going in the city, he would come he would like be ready by 12, because we'll go to the city around in there, ride motorcycles or whatever. And so I was like, "Since you're not doing nothing, I'll go ahead and take this lady to the grocery store." And so he was like, "Who you taking to the grocery store?" And I was like, "My neighbor." He was like, "Yeah, don't start that because that's going to be something that's going to be consistent. Or that's going to be something she's going to expect." And I was like, "Nah." He was like, "Okay." Anyway, so yeah. So once I got home on Friday, um, he had already, let me know that he had a side job when I was at work. So when I got off, she was standing outside smoking a cigarette. And she was like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey girl." And I was like, "Well, he's not coming over till later." And I was like, "So I could take you to the grocery store on Saturday." She was like, "Oh girl, thank you." Cause mind you, like me thinking it's like, girl, in the beginning of the week you asked me, but you ain't got nobody else to ask. But then again, I should have known because it's like you trying to pick and find somebody to take you and your kids to school. So I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take you." And so she, when I picked her, well, when I woke up Saturday, went and took her. And so she had a car seat this time. She put the little girl in the car seat, had her son in his booster, and we going to the grocery store, right? So took her to the grocery store. She doing all her shopping. And so she was like, "Girl, get you a buggy, get you a buggy." She was like, "Cause I got a lot of stamps." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I got a buggy. And so she was like, "You get whatever you want." Now, mind you, I'm the type of person is like when somebody doing something for me, I don't try to, take advantage of it. Even though in my head I'll be like, "Girl, rack up," but I don't. And then at this point in time, as I told y'all, things are going good. So I don't really need nothing like that. But I'm going to play it smart. So basically, like get stuff because Ty was greedy and Ty can eat and Ty can eat you out of house and home. As I told y'all, Ty was 7 and eating the Big Mac meals, not just part of a Big Mac or half of a Big Mac or just the sandwich. No, Ty was eating the Big Mac meals, and then after he would eat the meal, he'd be looking at your fries saying, "You gonna eat all your fries?" Yeah, 6 and 7. Mm-hmm. So Ty might be 4 or 5 when we stayed in this complex. Because this was the complex my mom had moved me out of, and Ty went to go live with her so I can finish school. So this, yeah, he had me like 4 or 5, somewhere in there, 4 and 5. So anyway. So yeah, so I took her to the grocery store. I got a buggy, so I'm stocking up on stuff that Ty would eat, not necessarily me. I may throw like 1 or 2 things in there, but not that big of a deal. But I didn't spend a lot of money. I may have spent like $50. So she was like, "You don't want nothing else?" And I was like, "Nah, girl." And I was like, "This is good. We don't like. I'm not gonna take advantage of you or nothing like that." And I was like, "I don't really need nothing." I said, "I just got stuff for my son." I said, "Cause my son can eat, so I just doubled up on his stuff so that way he won't run out of his stuff." quick. And so she was like, oh, okay. She was like, well, girl, I appreciate it. She was like, cause if I tell my sister that, my sister gonna rack up. And I was like, it's all good. No problem. And so she was like, well, thank you. She was like, cause, and I don't have no gas money. And then you had took my son to school. So, this was my way of you showing my appreciation. I was like, yeah, no problem. Left it at that. Left it at that. Got back, parked close to her joint so she can get all the bags out. Then when she got all her bags out, I parked in my normal parking space. Every apartment complex, I made a parking space anyway. So parked in on my normal parking space and went in, put Ty's stuff up, and Ty was at the house. I used to leave Ty at the house a lot. Child. Ty was a latchkey kid. He knew what and what not to do. I ain't had to worry about it. So mind you, so after that, Ty looking at, so he was like, where you get this stuff from? You went grocery shopping? And I was like, nah, the neighbor. And I was like, I took us to the grocery store. He was like, Ty used to do certain things around certain people to try to give me warnings. And a lot of times I ain't pay him no attention either, which I should have. But anyway, he kind of gave me a look and I was like, boy, it's whatever. So she started getting comfortable and started coming in, like knocking on the door and be like, hey, can you give me a ride? Hey, my son missed the bus, or hey, I ain't got no ride. When it would alternate between taking her kid to school and taking you to the grocery store. And then it got to the point where it was like, because at one point my boyfriend had opened the door because she had came and started knocking like early Saturday morning. And he had spent the night this particular night. He was like, who knocking on your door? And I was like, I don't know. Now, mind you, the way it was set up, like I can see the person walk in front of my like past my bedroom window, because my bedroom was right by like the walkway to my door. So I could see like the shadow walk by. But it's like, so I would think it would be like, kids coming to knock on the door for Tyler early in the morning. Because at every place that we stayed, I would tell Ty, I said, tell them the earliest they can come is 9 o'clock. Give people time to get the crust out their eyes. So she had came and knocked on the door. So he's like, no, knocking at your door. And I was like, I don't know. And I said, woke him up. And so he went to the door. Cause, dudes always thinking they trying to catch you in something. Cause he be like, you a pretty girl. I don't put nothing past it. Whatever. Anyway, he went to the door. And so he was like, babe. So I went to the door and it was her. And she was like, oh, good morning. And I was like, hey. And so she was like, I don't mean to bother you. I'm sorry, but I need to go to the grocery store. And so he got me the same look. And so he walked away from the door. And I was like, she was like, I'm sorry. I just need to go to the grocery store. I don't have nobody to take me. Like I had called my sister. She not answering my phone calls. And I had called their daddy. And I called Eugene. He not answering the phone calls either. And it gets to a point in time, like, I can't say everybody is like this. I'm like this. It gets to a point in time where if somebody is giving you like the cold shoulder, or they start acting funny, I'm that type of person who was like, I'm not going to continue a conversation or keep asking or whatever, where I'm feeling like I'm dependent on you. I'm going to make it happen for myself, because people are weird and people switch up. And so it's like, instead of me putting myself in that situation and feeling like that, I'm going to do what I need to do for me. You know what I'm saying? And then so it's like on repeat, people are not showing up for you. And so at this point in time, I don't think we got Uber or Lyft or nothing like that, but it's like on repeat, people not showing up for you. Like, girl, we got to come up with something, because clearly you're not consistent enough with the gas. Because if your sister not showing up because you not, you know what I'm saying, basically, because like I can hear her when she on the phone, because people be loud. It's like, girl, you don't ever get no gas money. You be like, come and give you gas, and you don't give gas. And when you do give gas, it's $5. That ain't no gas money for me to keep coming over there to take you and your kid back. Call their daddy, and when you call their daddy, he not answering. So anyway, so I was like, she was like, I'm sorry, I just really don't have nobody to take me to the store, and I really need to get some stuff in there, because, like the kids out of the food. So I need, please. She was like, I really wouldn't ask no, I really want to ask you unless I need to. And so I was like, because like I was in the bed, laid up, spooned up. Like, and so she was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Cause it's like I'm looking at you like, girl, how you even comfortable coming and knock on my door like that? Anyway. So I get dressed and my boyfriend was like, you need to check her. She don't need to be coming over here like that no more. Like even if you coming over here, you asking, it need to be after 12. Which I feel what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like, why are you comfortable coming and knock on my door like that, girl? And so when I get in the car to go take us to the grocery store, you start talking about my man, how fine my man is, how good where you meet him from. Girl, don't get pushed out this car. Baby, I don't fight over no man. I don't, but you're not gonna disrespect me about mine either. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I kind of gave her a look. So she was like, "Oh, I don't mean no harm." She was like, "I'm just trying to make small talk." I was like, "Listen, I don't mind taking you to the grocery store when it's like an absolute emergency and I'm like the very last resort. But if you're gonna knock on my door, make sure it's after 12 p.m." Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was like, I get it. But yeah, unless I'm the very last resort, don't knock on my door. She was like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So time went on after I took her to the grocery store and we had a new neighbor move in. So her and the new neighbor started getting buddy buddy or whatever. So at this one particular day, I took Ty down to the foster family because the foster family wanted him to come spend the night. So I took Ty down to the foster family. And so the foster mom, because I was like, that works perfect because I got a date tonight. And so she was like, okay, okay. She's like, yeah, I heard about your man. How did you hear about my man? She was like, oh, ghetto girl told me, described everything about him, how tall he was, what he looked like, how he came to the door, girl. She's like, yeah. She described everything. She's like, she also said how you think you better than everybody because you got a car, because you got a man, because you got a job, and you act like you couldn't take her to the grocery store. I said, well, I didn't say I couldn't take her to the grocery store. I said I told her just because, like, let me be the last resort. And she came and knocked on my door at 8 in the morning. And so she was like, oh, I was like, yeah, she came and knocked on my door at 8 in the morning. She was like, oh. She was like, yeah, she left all that out. She was like, but yeah, she was saying how you think you better than everybody because you got a job, because you got a car, because you got a man, because you got a man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you got your little long hair, whatever. She was like, yeah, she was talking a lot of stuff. And I was like, Angel don't even seem like that type of person. Angel not that type of person. And I told her, like, well, I interact with her and Tyler come down here all the time. That's not what I get from her. And so she was like, well, maybe it's just me because because I got kids and my baby daddy not doing what he's supposed to do or whatever. And I was like, what that gotta do with me? What that gotta do with me? And so I wasn't tripping on nothing. I ain't saying nothing. I just when it's stuff like that, and I knew you had to say something because you were the only one. Like, I know people see my man, but my man opened the door when you came and knocked on the door. So in order for foster mom, because my foster mom had never met my man, in order for you to know and describe my man, you had to tell her. You had to tell her. Girl, no. So at this point in time, I'm staying clear of her because now the new neighbor done move in. So the new neighbor taking you back and forth and taking the kids to school and taking you to the grocery store. Like the same little routine that you had with me, is the same little routine y'all doing. Cool. I'm cool with it. I ain't got no problem. So this one particular day, me and foster mom standing outside talking, and we also noticed that it was a red letter on ghetto girl door. Now, mind you, she had repeatedly bragged about how her baby daddy paid her rent. And she was on Section 8, so her rent was just $14. And she was like, I ain't got to pay no rent because Eugene pay my rent, so I ain't got to worry about it because he their kids dad. Now, mind you, the kids had the same dad. Mind you, when Eugene finally pulled up, Eugene is old as hell. Old. Now, mind you, she wasn't like no young girl, but she was younger than him. And I could see why he wasn't answering the phone because he probably wasn't hearing it. But no, he was ignoring her on purpose, like real talk. And so she had came out while me and foster mom was outside talking, just talking and catching up. And she had came out, and so she was like, I got this red note on my door. You haven't been paying the rent. You haven't been paying the rent. I'm $800 behind. They getting ready to put me and your kids out. They getting ready to put me and your kids out. So she put the phone down like this, and you got it on speaker. And so the dude said, ain't you got your taxes? Ain't them taxes coming? Pay your own rent, and hung up. So I was like, if your rent $14, that man ain't paid rent since 1952. Since 1952. And so when he hung up, like, we standing there. And so she came over, she was like, oh my God, oh my God. And so when she came over there with that, I was like, that's my cue. So I was like, okay, girl, I'll see you later. I need to go in here and get dressed. And I was like, thank you again for, watching Tyler. Because as I told y'all, Tyler loved going down there. The foster dad loved him to come down there. So most of the time when my man was playing a date, Ty would be with them. And so she was like, girl, yes, no problem. My husband love him. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and go get dressed. And so Ghetto Girl was like, well, hey, Angel. And I was like, hey, girl. Walked in, got dressed. Sunday, went to go get Ty. Cause she wouldn't send Ty up there. She would say, come get him when it was cool, like when your boyfriend leave or whatever, to give y'all time or whatever. So usually my boyfriend would leave at like 5:30, 6 p.m. on Sunday. So I would go get Ty so Ty can get ready for school or whatever. So I was like, when I went to go get Ty, and I was like, hey girl, and I was like, he was good, you ain't had no problem. She was like, girl, we never have any problems out of him. He's always better than our kids. And so I was like, oh, okay. She was like, girl. And I was like, what? She was like, Ghetto Girl was like, Angel don't mess with me no more. Angel don't mess with me no more. And she was like, right. And I was like, why do she feel the need to talk about me? I said, I spoke to her. I'm not here. I'm going to work. Like, and when I'm not at work, I'm with my man. What she mean I don't mess with her no more? And so she was like, I was expecting her to offer to say something about the rent. Girl, you want me to pay your rent? I'm not Eugene. I'm not paying your $14. And if anything, you on food stamps, you on cash. You should have been paying your rent. Your cash is probably $200 a month, which is the normal. Pay $14 for your Section 8. Real talk. Anyway, and I was like, what was she expecting for me to say about her rent? That ain't even my business. I said, not gonna front, she right. I had already pulled back after you told me the first time, because you described my man and you never met my man. Yeah, that made me feel away. No, because if you talking about my man, girl, you saying more about me to everybody else. Because the new neighbor wasn't really messing with me either. And I wasn't really messing with her. It was like, hey, how you doing in passing, and keep it moving. Because the new neighbor had like 3 or 4 kids. It's like, girl, y'all have something to bond over. Leave me be. So I was like, child, whatever. I don't care about none of that. None of that. So this one particular day, her little girl knocked on my door. And so when I opened the door, and I was like, hey. And so she was like, and walked in the door. And I was like, girl, do your mama know you over here? And I ain't think, no, she was like, yep. So she's sitting literally in my house, sitting in there. She playing with Ty. She watching TV. She had been sitting in my house for 30 minutes. And so I hear Ghetto Girl outside screaming, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl. And so I was like, oh, shit. Because that mean you ain't tell your mama nothing. Like, you haven't told your mama nothing. Nothing. And so I'm also thinking, it's like, if you let your child outside to play, you don't know where she is. Like, you not watching her. So I'm hitting my side, and then I hear the new neighbor with her saying, baby girl, baby girl. So I go open my door, and well, before I go open my door, I went in the room, and I was like, come on. And I went and got her, and went to the door, and I opened my door. So the neighbor Ghetto girl is out somewhere looking out this way. The new neighbor is still standing there. So I opened my door. And so she was like, baby girl, now you know better. So baby girl, she was like, bye. I was like, bye. And so she walked on to the new neighbor. So I closed my door. So ghetto girl came in. She was like, oh my God, where you found her? Where you found her? And she was like, oh, she was over here at Angel House. Mind you, I have never talked to the new neighbor. We had never had a report, never said nothing. So how you know my name? hmm Yeah. So she was like, oh my God, oh my God. And so she was like, she could have told you. She could have told you she had her over there. Well, first of all, I didn't knock on your door and come get her. I wasn't outside. Your daughter knocked on my door. She knocked on my door. So she was like, no, it's fine. No, it's fine. She said, baby girl, don't do that no more. Baby girl, don't do that no more. Cause I thought, she was like, she was out here playing. I thought you was out here playing with your brother. So the brother was outside playing. The kids was outside playing. You wasn't watching them. You was in your apartment with new neighbor. And so she was like, I thought you was missing. I thought you was missing. I thought you was missing. I almost lose my mind. So mind you, you're doing that in front of my window. Like, remember I told you, like my window is right there, like by my door. So it's a walkway. So, cause I had to walk past my bedroom window to get to my front door. So you were right there. Mind you, when I opened the door, your new neighbor was standing in front of your door, in front of your bedroom window. How y'all get in front of my bedroom window? So you standing there and I can see like the shadow, you hugging her. I thought you was missing. I thought you was missing. Don't do that no more. I thought you was missing. I love you. I love you. I love you. You don't know what people will do to you. You don't know because people just stop talking to you out of the blue. And they don't want to be your friend no more. Girl, we was never friends. Anyway, so I didn't say nothing. I didn't react nothing. I let it be. Went on. So foster mom, next time again when I went down there, she told me, girl, you are always the topic of conversation. Hold on, y'all. I said, why am I the topic of conversation? She was like, girl, why get a girl came down here and told me you stole baby girl and she thought baby girl was missing? I said, that little girl came and knocked on my door. And I asked her if her mama knew where she was. She shook her head, yeah. That was on my fault because I shouldn't have believed the kid because I don't believe my kid. But I shouldn't believe a kid. I was like, literally, I asked the little girl said, yeah, she was in there playing with Ty for a good 20 to 30 minutes. She was like, ghetto girl was like, if she missed me, all she had to do was say that she ain't had to steal my baby. I said, yeah. She said, I'm starting to see why like you staying away from her. Now, mind you, ooh, ooh, ooh. I had neighbors upstairs. Now, my neighbors upstairs was a couple, right? And they used to fight and fight, fight. So the girl, she was a boxer. She was like, I'm a licensed boxer. My hands are lethal. Like I can't be going around fighting people. I get in trouble for that. I get in trouble for that. So this one particular night, hope men had got into it, right? They got into it real bad. They got into it real bad. And you could tell like they were struggling because every time you turn around, Rental Center was looking for them. Like for real, Rental Center was looking for them. Like knocking on the door looking for them. They was dodging Rental Center. Like the memes that I see, I always laugh because I was like, that issue is real. Like people really be dodging Rental Center. So this one particular night, they got into it real bad, to the point where she had to like basically defend herself. You defended yourself, and she wasn't playing by her hands being lethal. Cause baby, that eye, if y'all have was introduced to Steve Harvey and his first set on the Apollo was about Mike Tyson or somebody punching him in the eye, and I was like, Lord, baby, that man eye when you saw him, let me tell y'all. That girl, I thought I could beat my girlfriend up. But my girlfriend got hands and wore me out. So after the fight that they had going on, because they had was really rumbling in the jungle down deep, the neighbors complained about them. So they got put out. So my new neighbor upstairs, she could do hair. So foster mom started going to her and getting her hair done. Because remember I told y'all she was Halle Berry pixie cut. Like you could tell she kept herself together, laid, like jewelry, dressed down, name brand. Like they was really about that. So she would go upstairs to get her hair done. And so she said, I understand why you stay away from Get a Girl. And I was like, girl, what happened? She was like, you know, your new neighbor upstairs, which I would see her in passing and it would be like, hey, how you doing? I ain't really talk to her like that. And I was like, I see her in passing, but I don't really know nothing about her. She was like, oh, well, yeah, she do hair. She was like, I'll go up and get my hair done. And I was like, okay, okay. And so she was like, it's easier for me, you know, because she right there. I don't have to leave and go nowhere. And then she give a cheaper price. And so she was like, I was going to get my hair done. And so she was like, girl, Get a Girl told me you think you all that. You and your family think you all that because you married, you wear name brand stuff and you got a car and your stuff together. But they don't, she don't know how y'all make ends meet because you ain't got no job. I said, she said, yeah. She said, so I understand why you stay away from Get a Girl. She said, girl, so I'm about to follow and do the same thing. She was like, mm-mm. And she said, and also the hairstylist said, she told me, yeah. She also told me my neighbor downstairs stole her daughter and she thought her daughter was missing. Anyway, I was like, yeah, girl, that's your best bet. Cause clearly I'm starting to see why Eugene and your sister don't mess with you either. Messy. Anyway, I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. And I'll see you in the next one. And that is the story time of the missing child. It's always one in the neighborhood. Bye.